listened to Blade Runner audiobook a little bit more. Well, a lot actually, since the last time I talked about it. And the whole dynamic between Deckard, the bounty hunter, and these androids that are so lifelike in almost every way. It's really a pretty interesting concept. But one of the things that sort of came up in my mind when I was listening to this is that Philip K. Dick, the author, writes, and this is actually what a lot of people who write stories and movies about androids and stuff, they always make it sound like the androids are somewhat remorseful. They don't like the fact that they are not human, and I find that kind of hard to believe, actually. If you were to, you know, if we were to engineer some robot that's really lifelike, would you deliberately put something in there that made it desire to be human? I mean, because a robot, even our computers today are built to be error-free. I mean, I guess that's one of the things that makes humans unique and amazing, is that it seems somewhat from the outside, you know, not knowing how it all operates, that is this guy not keeping up? It seems like the human mind is actually prone to mistakes. It's not perfect, and there's some art to that, you know. There's some things that come out of that make us special, I think. I don't know, I feel like that. But a robot would be designed to not make mistakes, to be very calculated, be very fast, be very smart. And if you design a robot that way, is it going to say, gosh, I sure wish I could make more mistakes like a human? Or is Philip K. Dick saying something like, if you made a robot so lifelike that it would inevitably turn out to be fallible, imperfect, because that's required for it to socially blend in with human beings. But the main thing I was thinking is that we always do this. We always do it. We always make robots who go, gosh, I wish, Pinocchio style, I wish I was a real boy. And I think that's because of the author. That's because people want to feel like they are superior, or at least super special. That's not the robots thinking that. That's people thinking that. And I feel like it's a mistake. Or it wouldn't be how things really were. It would be if you had, you know, whatever, like I'm talking about, super smart AI. Another thing he writes in is that these Nexus 6 robots, they lack empathy. And I wonder if he did that because he wasn't sure how to solve the problem, or how you would build empathy into a machine. I don't know, in a lot of ways I feel like the things that make up human personalities, and some of the things that, the subtle things that when you do build AI that people pick up on, I guess the whole Turing test type things, I think we like to think that that stuff is super complex. But I think if psychologists sat down long enough and tried to understand it, you could probably boil it down to a handful or half dozen things that are in our DNA, you know, things that aren't learned, things that are occur naturally just in our physical build, you know, our biology. I'm blanking on what you call that. But on that framework, then you build in the social things that are learned. There are a lot of smart people who are super afraid of AI. If we build AI, they will definitely kill us. I mean, after all, we're killing ourselves, right? The Blade Runner book is fantastic, by the way. Aside from all the desire to own animals, it's really kind of silly. He buys a goat, and then there's one quote where he meets up with the main android from the corporation that builds those androids. So it's different than the movie by a lot. And she says, "Why don't you go home to your goat?" It's not meant to be a joke. He actually bought a goat and he's super proud of it. If they were to ever make, I mean, I know they're going to make a Blade Runner 2, which is, I'm really afraid of how bad they're going to screw it up. They've already screwed up a bunch of our childhood movies by making shitty sequels. But if they ever decide to make it true to the book, they're definitely going to throw out the owning a goat part. It's so strange. I mean, it does add to the character as sort of like, this is what it builds the world, you know. It builds the framework for the like, it's not a movie, but the book in a certain way. It just doesn't fit that Blade Runner mystique, like dystopia. Merc, you don't know what you're doing. Oh God, you're a horrible driver.